I learned so much about my parents that I didn't know. I didn't know my dad, who now is in the Hall of Fame, and he's in the NCAA Hall of Fame. That he was a walk-on. He was a sixth string halfback, not quarterback. Right here are three great quarterbacks, all Hall of Famers. Here's Bart Starr, my dad, and Johnny Unitas.
Karen Vanderij, Kirby, as she goes by, penned the novel The Dutchman and Portland's Finest Rose, a love story inspired by the life of her father, football legend Norm Van Brocklin, and her mother, Gloria.
It took me 6 years of really researching and kind of putting it all together.
The story takes place at the University of Oregon, post-World War II, when Norm first met and fell in love with Gloria.
He just fell for my mom right away.
The inspiration and initial spark for writing the book came when Kirby was going through her mother's belongings after Gloria had fallen terminally ill.
I was doing some paperwork in her little office area, and I came across these love letters, which I had never known about. As most curious people do, I took one letter out and I read it, and I realized then these were love letters that my father had written to my mother when they were in college at the University of Oregon.
With help from the U of O, Kirby began researching.
It is a slice of time, and that's what was important to me. I really tried to capture what it was like, as World War II was ending and before things really took off for our country in the early 50s.
That slice of time was 1946 through 1949. The war was over, and Norm, fresh out of the Navy, and thanks to the GI Bill, followed a couple of buddies from California up to the University of Oregon, where he walked on to the football team.
Just walked on, and the rest, I guess, basically you could say is history. And this picture was taken at the University of Oregon. There, I don't know why Dad, oh yeah, he does. They all have their letter jackets on, so. The book is as much my mother's story as it is my father's. I just sort of think of football sort of being the frame that this story's in. This is a great photograph of my mother. This is what she would have looked like when my father met her at the University of Oregon. My father referred to my mother as Portland's finest rose, and that was out of one of the letters. I'd never heard that expression.
The love story is told through the eyes of Gloria, but it's more than just a love story. It's a glimpse back in time, and a glimpse into Oregon football history.
It's those three years of Duck football history, and I do go through some play-by-play in some of the more legendary games.
Norm would go on to play for the Los Angeles Rams and the Philadelphia Eagles, winning 2 championships along the way. When his playing days were done, he moved right into coaching, becoming the first ever coach of the expansion Minnesota Vikings, and then the second head coach of the Atlanta Falcons.
This is a blown-up cover of the Sports Illustrated. Note the cost, 25 cents.
The Dutchman secured his legacy, being inducted into both the college and NFL Hall of Fames. But the lasting legacy for his daughter and family is the legacy he made with Gloria. And it all started on the University of Oregon campus, outside Dee Hall.
Dee Hall was, I think, the oldest building on campus. She was walking from the building, and my dad was walking the other way, and they literally bumped into each other, and that's how they met. And she indicated it was love at first sight. If you should visit the University of Oregon, and should you walk in front of that building, you will find a nice teak bench with a plaque next to it that's dedicated to my mom and dad. And it says, "It's here we met and will forever be," and has their names on it. And so Oregon roots run deep.
In Bend, Eric Lindstrom, Central Oregon Daily News.